Good morning, members. It's Josh here, speaking to you from sunny Liverpool, bright blue skies, which is a rarity. Happens every now and then. I thought before I jet off to Ibiza to try and cling desperately to my youth uh, for a friend's wedding, I thought I would record one more video for you all. And looking and flicking through today's runners and riders, just focusing on a couple in particular. And just to say what's going to happen over the next week, you won't notice too much difference. I fly out late Wednesday evening. I'm hoping to get Thursday's post up. It might be the case that a few of the ratings pointers don't follow until Thursday morning, but I should get the elite squad and all the normal qualifiers listed. That shouldn't be a problem. And then from then on in, really, it's a case of section one will be the main focus with the qualifiers and the ratings pointers and the elite squad. One of you good folk, Mike, who often, well, every now and then when I have a dull moment and miss a qualifier, he's the one that posts the comments to remind me which horses I've missed. He is a trooper. Every time I go away, he very kindly emails me a list of the qualifiers. And he's going to do that again. So that's very generous of him. Thanks, Mike, if you're watching. So that will save me quite a bit of time. And then it's just a case of me uploading them onto the site and going through horse race base, GGs, and Inform Racing. And putting the right coach next to the right horses so that if you follow any of the strategies, you know which ones to home in on. That will be it. And any test qualifiers from the systems I'll also post in the test zone in section, what section is that? Section 3. And that will be about it for the week, really. I doubt you'll get too many thoughts from me on any of the runners or riders. I might have time to flick through, but part of me wants to switch off and try not to think about horses for a few days, which would be nice. I think the brain probably needs it, and then when I return, it will pretty much, well, everything will keep ticking over, but my own brain will be focusing and switching mainly towards the jumps. I've got quite a few systems that have been going on the blog for kind of a couple of years that do well. There'll be a big focus on Nigel Twiston-Davies in September and October. Last year's approach worked quite well, but I might try and narrow in again on kind of his best runners and riders with a few micro angles and systems. There's normally a good angle for Emma Lavelle. Then we move into Venetia Williams in November and December, who for the last 2 years has kind of paid for Christmas. So touch wood, that may continue. So yeah, there's plenty to look forward to. And there's a York Ebor meeting I should mention before I flick through today's cards. You've got the notes, as you can see here. There is a link at the bottom. That's kind of in a more readable format probably. There's also a link in the key here, so you can use those and flick through as you wish. I think that's about it really. Yeah, in terms of York, I'll try and post the micro qualifiers for the two Haggis systems. There's pretty much crossover between those. I think they're pretty much the same qualifiers, and I will post up. Yes, I'll post them from day one. That shouldn't take me long. But in terms of highlighting any qualifiers against the notes, depending on time, I don't plan on doing that on days 1 or 2, but on the Friday and the Saturday, I should be able to post up any thoughts. But that's why you have the notes, so you can use them yourself if you wish. And if anyone does write a list of horses of interest, of course, you can always post them in the comments for everyone else to read, which would be brilliant. But you don't have to, of course. So that's that. Should we have a look at today's racing? Before I get on to the flat, I'm going to jump straight to Newton Abbot. You'll have seen a bet of the day. Poor horse. Not too bad on the jumps. Flats not doing brilliantly, but it's early days. That will turn around once we fire in a couple of 20-1 winners. That will be fine. Let's stick with the tried and trusted method. Generally 6-1 or bigger. So I'm just looking at my notepad there. 4 o'clock, Newton Abbot. That's where I want to look. Kismet. The first thing to note, yeah, the price is fine. 6-1 or bigger is kind of my cut-off, and I should try and be kind of strict with that. The reason because as you go further under those odds, you have to be right more often, and being right often in this game is quite a challenge. Well, for me at least. Uh, and the odds I play at, you don't need to be right too often in terms of outside of systems and various different things. And there's kind of the margin for error is bigger, I suppose. And backing 6-1 shots and bigger and watching them win is more fun than 2-1 shots. Anyway, 6-1 looks decent enough for this horse. And the first thing I noted, I should say, was Flint's form. He and Kit are the only kind of trainers in form. That doesn't mean the rest are out of form, but his are going well. The last 6 runners, a couple have won. So that looks, they're decent enough. He's 2 from 4 at the course in the last year. So there's kind of no worries on that front. The horse is having, I think it's having her 3rd star after a break, which I found interesting in the sense they now come back to the course and distance which she won over. Now she won that off a mark of 95 and did it fairly easily. A couple of the horses in behind have since come out and won since, so there's some substance. I mean, it's a moderate race, it's summer jumping, it's, well, yeah, it's generally moderate form. But the point with her is she's only 4. This is only her 8th hurdle race. If I look on handicaps, she's only raced in 4 handicap hurdles. And you'll see here for Flint, so kind of ran kind of 3 times the main hurdles, came to this course and distance in October in good ground, pretty much same conditions. Tom O'Brien on board, won fairly comfortably. She is only £7 above that mark, given a lightly raced. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. She then raced in November on soft. I would suggest that ground probably wasn't to suit. And then she returned after quite a few days off. I go to Horse Race Spaces, kind of helps see it a bit clearer. So yeah, she ran well soft there. There's nothing in her past form which suggested she would like soft ground. It was probably the first time she ran on it, so that's probably a valid excuse. Then returns after 219 days, 25-1, clearly not expected to do anything. Weakened between the last 2, indicates she may have needed the run. Then ran at Worcester, again might have needed it still, but ran well enough, only beaten 5 lengths, and the front kind of 3 were quite a way ahead of the last 3. Given the train in those she's won here and clearly likes the course, I found it of interest that on the 3rd start in that kind of fitness cycle, I suppose they now come here at a time that the yard is in form as well. It's too early to say she doesn't handle class 4, as there's excuses for all of them, I think. And in any case, she hasn't raced in a class 4 over the track she's won, so I'm not going to be put off by that. And I think 6-1 just allows the chance. So she's lightly raced. She's had hardly any handicap hurdles. She returns to the scene of the one track where she did win. There should be more to come over jumping at some point. She's only 4. She's clearly not a world beater, but she's got young legs and looks progressive. And she would have needed the run 2 runs ago. She may have needed it last time, but still ran well enough. She gets a bigger field here. She likes to track the pace. So she's got Orion's Might to track, possibly Frozen Over, but she'll race up there in the kind of first 4 or 5, hopefully, and be in the right place to strike. The other thing I'll highlight is the trainer-jockey combo. As you can see in handicaps, they're 7 from 27, 13 places, which is decent enough. You wouldn't have got too rich by backing them all. At the course, 2 from 3, which obviously includes this horse once. So the trainer-jockey combo works. The jockey knows the horse. And the other thing I should say, when clicking this, it didn't look the strongest of races. Bulletproof is short enough. He might well win, but he is an 11-year-old. Tamarillo Grove ticks a lot of boxes as well, but it's 10. It's one of those summer jumps races. Kublai keeps running but not doing much. Looks like the blinkers return. So nothing surprised you at this level, but I just thought that one's still got time on her side. There should be more to come at some point. We know she likes conditions. The yards horses are going well, and it's the 3rd run after quite a long break, returning to a track where she does well. So all of that made sense to me at 6-1, and I was happy to have a go. I'd like to see her backed. Hopefully into kind of 4s or 7-2 or something would be nice, but who knows? We shall see. So that's why I'm probably most confident on that one today, in terms of in the odd ranges I like to look at. That's why ticks that unexposed profile, good price. The story makes sense. So yeah, 6 to 1, that will do. I don't want to go on for too much longer, although I've probably been going, well, only 10 minutes. It's pretty good for me. The other one I just want to focus on, I suppose, is uh, Bengal Lancer, who I thought looked interesting. I missed it on the first run through. He's joint rated in terms of GGs on the speed rating, so he does actually qualify on one of the kind of strategies we're monitoring in terms of GG's top 3 in horse race base, top 3 rated. Well, two things caught the eye really. He's unexposed. I mean, he's on the short enough end, so I'm not going to tip him, because that normally spells disaster for these types. But what I am going to say is, only had 5 runs in his life. He's placed on 3 of them. This is only his 3rd handicap run, and his run last time out was his first over 7 furlongs. He races prominently enough, and there's every reason to think he should run his race again. Speed rating's fine. If I click on this, there's not too much kind of green and orange, which is always a good sign. You've got the likes of Intimately down here, a couple of pounds above his last winning mark, Welsh Inlet, but there isn't too much else going on here. In terms of the age of horse, there's a few 3-year-olds, but they look a bit out of form. So really, I thought Bengal Lancer looked interesting actually. And the other thing I was going to say was the jockey, who himself, the last 30 days, 18 rides, 6 wins, 9 places. That might be something to note. Is clearly riding at the top of his game. Looks like he's one of the best kind of jockeys in the race, I suspect, on recent figures anyway. Seamus Cronin's pretty good. William Cox has been doing quite well. Finley Marsh looks decent, and there's Josh Bryan actually. So a few jockeys here to track in the future. He's got course form as well, the jockey. I mean, the other reason not to go mad on a 4-to-1 shot, if at all, is the fact it's a race where they can't use the whip. And without having watched his video, I don't know how he responds to pressure. Some of them waving it was just suffice. Some of them do need a reminder and to be tapped. Some of them will run as well, just hands and heels, and don't actually need the whip at all. So that's another reason to be cautious, or maybe not to go mad on a 4-to-1 shot in an apprentice handicap. But the horse is unexposed. It's his 2nd run over the trip. He ran well last time. His speed rating's all right, and if he can build on that, I wouldn't be shocked if he ran well. Some of the others are short enough. I suppose if we have a look at Beverly and a couple of the elite squad, hopefully none of you are falling off your seats at the fact that they're lost 7 points last week. What are they down this week? 4 or 5? Not a shock. They won 65 odd points in 4 or 5 weeks, which was just silly. They weren't going to keep repeating that. The ROI was ridiculously high. And actually, if you look through, and some of you watching this, or many of you probably just back to level stakes, the elite squad, I like to take a view and kind of have a range of 5, 10 to 15 to 20 pounds. Rarely do I not have anything on an elite squad qualifier if I like the price, just because, yeah, trusting the stats will see me back more decent price winners and more likely to miss the odd one. But especially those at air, I thought you could make a case against going mad on them. And nothing as yet has jumped out. Well, this week anyway. Having said that, there's certainly no reasons not to back Sunglider and Alphabetical Order. O'Meara is just about to fire. He was never really out of form. They were running okay, but he was 1 from 70 odd in a kind of 2-week period. 20 odd had placed. His last 3 runners, a couple have won. He had a couple of winners here. It could be there. A lot of them are well handicapped again, or whatever the issue was, they are just about to burst into life. Sunglider here, he likes the course and distance. He's 2 from 2. All conditions look fine. He's only 4. He won 2 starts ago here against Save the Bees, who he lines up against. If I look at the head-to-head, he's beat Save the Bees 3 times, lost to him another, but he's beat him twice here. And that was in a class 4, and he ran in a class 3 the last day. didn't do too badly, but that might be a level that's just above him, I suspect. So really, there is no reason to be against him. If you liked him, he was kind of 9-2. It seems to be he's getting backed, and Hollywood Road looks interesting. His speed rating, Sungliders, is quite a bit better. On the pace front, Save the Bees and Alexander M might kill each other up front. Hopefully, Sunglider can just track the two of them and pounce late. So he looks like he's got a decent chance and can hopefully get Elite Squad on the board for the week. Alexander M looks progressive and won fairly easy the last day. That was Chester. Got an easy lead and a very good ride. Hopefully, Save the Bees takes him out of his comfort zone a bit, but he looks progressive. He's a 3-year-old, so he is getting, he's only £2 inferior on ratings, but he's getting 9. With the weight for age, he's actually getting £7, so he would be the interesting one. He looks the progressive one. Barwell's a non-runner. That would explain why Sunglider's price has come in, because he was fancied. So I wouldn't be. He's got a chance. You'd be put off a bit by Alexander M from going mad, maybe, but hopefully Sunglider can run well. And there's also no reason not to be put off alphabetical order either at 12s. We've got Regal Mirage, who I wouldn't put anyone off backing, or certainly putting off a saver. He is a treble rated. He's top rated on horse race base. All conditions look fine. He tracks the pace. The horse he beat here, and the front two are miles clear here, has since come out and won since. So there's reasons. He's in the same class. He looks ultra progressive. You're going to think the handicap is going to get him at some point, but I'd hesitate to say he's got him just yet. So hopefully at 9-4 he goes close. If I click on Instant Experts, we can get a feel of the race. Well, yeah, you can see there he ticks most of the boxes. He's new to the track, so we don't know how we'll handle that. As you can see there, that's what interested me with alphabetical order. There is a line of green. He ticks all boxes. He's 1 from 1 at the track. He's £1 below his last win. We could blame O'Meara's for recent runs. We could maybe blame the ground, although I think he has run well on soft before. If I just have a look at his wins. Where am I? Just so I can get an idea of how he has won. Yeah, so actually soft isn't an excuse. He won on good ground. He just seems versatile, actually. But anyway, he ran well, as you can see here, April 16. So that was quite a while ago. Class 4, 1 off 76. This is a Class 5 today. He hasn't done much since. He was tried over different trips. He didn't really do much. Doncaster, he wasn't awful. At least he kind of wasn't going backwards. He was kind of more up and down the spot, but he's dropped a couple of pounds. 20 days later, O'Meara's could be now coming into better form, and he does return to a track he's won at, and he drops in class. So I thought at 12-1, there were reasons there. He is 9. I'm not going to be shocked if he's tailed off or doesn't get competitive, but you've seen there that he ticks all race conditions. And with system qualifiers, I suppose I'm looking first and foremost, personally, when I'm deciding on staking amount, is there a reason to be against them? Is there a reason to kind of not be confident at all? And with him, I don't think there is. It's not one I'd go mad on, but he's probably, well, he has got my normal Elite Squad stake, which is for 1 point is £10, if you want to know that. Not that you care. So yeah, there's no reason not to back him. He's not one I'd kind of chuck £15-20 at, just because of recent form and his age, and he's in a race with kind of younger, unexposed horses, and we have another qualifier in the race who's a strategy pick. But hopefully one of the two wins, and hopefully it's alphabetical order. So yeah, no reason to be against him. That's it really. Probably haven't mentioned a winner. I'm not going to go through all the others. Just to keep this kind of under 20 minutes, hopefully. Blimey. They're the kind of ones that looked interesting. Kismet 6s looks a couple of points too big. I'll explain why I like her. So that's good. Bengal Lancer should go well, but that's one of those race types that you wouldn't want to go mad in, but unexposed. Second run of the trip. They probably know he stays. They might be a bit more aggressive. Salisbury takes some getting, I think, from memory. And there's some pace on for him to track as well, so that's interesting. Nothing else at the prices other than the 2 Elite Squad, which do look interesting. In terms of my own approach, nothing else kind of jumped out at me. No doubt with the Flint runner, I have probably picked the wrong one, but this one was under 6-1 and takes a jump up in class to class 3, so has to do something different, and his marks up. That's the reason I was kind of not so keen on him, and the fact he was under 6-1. But he might run well. It looks an interesting race. Where what I did look at was there's a few here that aren't proven in class 3. Those who are proven, I moved that just to 2 mile 4. Curious Carlos looks interesting. Those who is a class winner isn't proven over the distance, regulation and galaxy. So it may be a weak enough race. The horse just has to do something different in terms of stepping up into class 3, and is 7 and isn't as unexposed as Kismet. As you can see there, has had 20 hurdle starts, 17 in handicap hurdles, and is well, it's only had 1 go in class 3. So we can't say he won't win at class 3, and he's at his favourite track. He did beat an old horse last time, Tamarillo Grove, so the form ties in. We'll see how he gets on. It wouldn't surprise me if he ran well. 9-2, I was a bit on the fence, but he might leave me red-faced, no doubt, and he'll win, and Kismet will trail in the midfield. That would be typical. But you know the reasons why I like the other one a bit more. Interesting. A lot of these have been off the track as well for quite a long time. The Honeyball horse, the fact he's short is interesting. Trainer change. Honeyball's a master at getting them fit. There won't be any problems there if they want him fit. Tongue tie on. 6-year-old might well improve. So yeah, there's a few interesting ones in there, I thought, and that wasn't the race I wanted to go mad on, and preferred the other one, but we shall see how they go. So yeah, that's it really. I don't think there's much else to say. The systems yet are ticking along. As they tick along, hopefully the Elite Squad can get back on track, but we were due a kind of losing run because we hadn't had one since I kind of introduced them, and they are such runs are the reasons why you should always, whatever time you start a strategy or start following a system, is why you start small, stay consistent, and build up over time as hopefully, fingers crossed, your bank grows. So yeah, hopefully, with any luck, they turn around at some point soon and start finding a few more winners. But we've got those to look forward to. The other strategies are ticking along. The treble rated strategy for the flat looks interesting, and those stats look robust, so hopefully they continue till the end of the season. What else do I want to say? Yeah, we've got York to look forward to next week. The only yeah, what else was I going to say? With any luck, hopefully, it's been a quiet week, but you may have read yesterday's free post where Caber won at 12-1, which was quite good in the last at Notts. I didn't go mad on him. I think I had a 5 each way. Not races I'm ever overly confident in, class 6 sprint handicaps, but you can read there were some quite good reasons. So yeah, always have a flick through both posts. There's sometimes things of interest, and hopefully you had a nibble. But yeah, that's it really. Enjoy the next week. I will be going to clubs a couple of times, so that'll be fun. I'm not much of a clubber. We've got that. I've got a Craig David pool party on Thursday, which is tomorrow. That's from 2 p.m. through till 8, I think. So that'll be lively. And then we've got, I'm in an all-inclusive hotel, so I heard drinks prices can be quite expensive out there. So I'll be sitting by the pool, and I'm right on the beach as well. So there'll be plenty of that time and relaxing and recuperating. And also, what else have I got planned? Oh yeah, 6, 7 of us going on a nice little private boat trip on the Sunday to see the sunset and going around the coast and a few little bits and bobs, and snorkeling, I think. So that would be exciting. And yeah, other than that, that's about it. So I'm going to try and enjoy myself. Drink a few beers, a few nice glasses of wine, maybe the odd bottle of cheap champagne. Depends how the horses get on, I suppose. If we could boost that fund. And that's it really. Have a good week. I will try and get up some stats and trends for the free posts for the 2 sprint handicaps at Ripon on Saturday. We've got the Great St Wilfrid, isn't it, and the consolation race. So I'll try and get those together. You may have to do the shortlisting yourselves. And that's it. Then we're into York, and I will be back, all guns firing. My flight gets in at 3 a.m. on Thursday morning. So we'll see. Hopefully everything's in place for Thursday. But from Friday and Saturday we should be fine. And as I said, we then have the excitement of looking forward to jumps racing proper returning, which I can't wait really. I have enjoyed the flat, but I much more enjoy the jumps. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to, and many different angles and pointers and things ahead, in the weeks and months ahead. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll stop kind of going on. I'm sure this video has been long enough. Hopefully you found that of some use. So yeah, enjoy your next week. I'll be posting and maybe the odd comment as well. But yeah, until the next time, I'm not sure when the next video will be, but there'll be one at some point. Take care, and yeah, enjoy the next few days, and hopefully we will back a few winners. This is Josh saying bye for now, and thanks for watching. Cheers.